For members of Gen Z and millennials, how we choose to express ourselves when it comes to gender or sexual identity or orientation is something that is being talked about more openly nowadays. But what does that mean when it comes to relationships? So we are joined now by Michael K from OK Cupid. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so Michael, I want to ask you about dating trends that you have noticed from Gen Z and millennial daters on OkCupid's platform. Can you tell us about some of those trends that you've noticed over maybe the past few years or in 2022 specifically?
Yes, of course. There's a lot of standout trends when we look at our young dater base. First, believing climate change is real is really hot for our daters. Over 2 million people on OkCupid believe climate change is real, and more than 8 in 10 users are really concerned about it. Politics continue to be the biggest deal breaker for the younger generations. Almost 3 million people on our platform said they could absolutely not date someone with opposing political views. And that's an issue that's really top of mind for Gen Z and millennial daters. And we're also seeing people who are registered voters get more matches and more likes on our platform than people who don't participate in local elections. If we look at what's happening around us with the coronavirus pandemic, we're at this point seeing that younger daters aren't really letting Omicron affect their dating lives at the moment. When asked, we had 83% of Gen Z and 82% of millennial daters said they're still willing to go on in-person dates. Another trend that makes me really hopeful for all the relationships that are going to be forming this year is that daters are becoming more flexible. You know, on OkCupid specifically, more than half of our Gen Z and millennial daters said they would be willing to date someone that really isn't their usual type. I think years ago, we had these long checklists of what we were looking for in a partner, and anyone we went on a date with had to hit every single box. But after the past 2 years of being cooped up inside, people are just a little bit more open and more flexible with who they're willing to go out with. Another one, and this is one that's really specific to young daters right now, is open relationships are becoming less and less taboo. And while the majority of OkCupid daters seek monogamous relationships, in 2021, users seeking non-monogamous relationships increased 7%. And mentions on users' profiles of terms like non-monogamy and throuple actually went up over 20%. So that's another big shift that we're seeing. Lastly, and this is another one that, really makes me hopeful and excited about what's to come in the dating space. But despite everything that's happened around the world, from pandemics to, cultural, political, social events over the last couple of years, people are really hopeful about love. We're seeing that more than 8 in 10 daters on OkCupid believe that they have the power to manifest love. So it's exciting. And I look forward to seeing all the new couples that are forming this year.